Hey, what's happening? This is Tommy Victor from Prong. You're going to be checking out one of our new videos. It's called Unconditional. Hope you like it.
Dies ist der Backstage-Bereich, das Tor 3 in Düsseldorf, bundesweit bekannte Konzerthalle, und neben mir sitzt Tommy Victor von Prong, die gerade wieder einmal auf ihrer 4. Europatour sind. First of all, you've been expected supporting Anthrax at the beginning of this year, but somehow it didn't happen. So what was the reason for that?
Well, we would have loved to have done the Anthrax PE tour over here. The cost of doing it was worth it, but at the same time we got offered Ozzy Osbourne in America as an opener, and we did 6 weeks with Ozzy, and it would only been like 2 weeks with Anthrax PE. So for the cost balancing it out, we had to do the Ozzy tour, and opening for Ozzy on his supposedly last tour is an incredible honor, and it turned out to be a great experience for Prong.
But this time you're touring, you're playing for a complete different audience over here than you maybe did on the tour that you did for Force Fed. So I suppose there's only very few hardcore people showing up, and you started maybe be pronounced as a hardcore band. So what is the difference?
I haven't seen that much of a difference. I think that Prong gets a crossover of a lot of different people coming to the shows. There's people with 9 Inch Nails t-shirts and Neubauten t-shirts, and then there's people that are into Ministry, that group, and then there's people that are wearing Slayer shirts and Sepultura shirts, and then there's people wearing Youth of Today and Cro-Mags t-shirts and more hardcore bands. So we get a big cross-section, and we also get like some real art rockers, they're with, bispectacle wire-rim glasses, just like, Prong. So, it's not a totally metal show, it's not a totally hardcore show, it's not a totally industrial show. It's just modern, contemporary rock music type of show. People that are really into music from all over the place,
What is it like for you now? You have a new guy on stage, Troy now playing the bass. And over all the years, you had another guy on stage, and it must be a different experience right now. I think he's much more active than Mike was, I think.
Right, that was part of the problem with Mike. It's a much more enjoyable experience playing live with Troy Gregory. He's a very extroverted individual, and his whole presence on stage is phenomenal, and his playing is incredible too. So getting on stage with Troy is just a contrast to what it was with Mike, which was sometimes a very big struggle. So, Troy is very loose and just a very talented guy, and it's been really a lot of fun with him.
But, let me ask you something really different. What do you think of that kind of music that maybe a support band, Trapon and Powell, plays?
Well, we love Trapon and Powell, and we asked them to come on the tour with us. We were trying to get in touch with them for several weeks, and I think that what they're doing is up to date, real, and just extremely intense. And they blow 95% of the bands out there off the stage, and it's a hard band to follow, I think. They're just an amazing, amazing group, and they're going to be, when they get over to America, people are going to just freak over them.
But I have the feeling that Prong is moving a little bit into that musical direction. Am I right? A little bit more industrial influences, maybe?
Yeah, we've never omitted the industrial from our music. Sometimes a producer like Mark Dodson, who's used to doing things like Anthrax and ST, sometimes covered up a lot of the real, industrial side of Prong, unfortunately. We're still trying to bring it out more, and I think sometimes in the studio you lose some of the rawness that we have live, and some of the brutality of like industrial music somehow gets lost with a big-time rock production, but that's unfortunate. But it's always been there, and we like to exploit it more with sampling and just using certain things of technology that are available to us right now. So it just adds more, more interesting kind of aspect to the group, So that's what we're trying to do.
But there's another thing. There's something like the first 100 people will come to a Prong show on this tour to get a free CD with special mixes of a couple of songs. Whose idea was that? And these mixes, they seem to fit to play in a club, in a disco, or something like that. Was that your intention?
Well, some of the mixes are like that, but what we try to do is bring out a whole different aspect of the song that was originally intended, and when we got down to mixing the record "Prove You Wrong," we were in a big rush, and we weren't able to do some of these things. So it was something that we had planned all along, having Jim Fetus do a mix of something, and "Prove You Wrong" is the song. So we were able to do it afterwards. He said, let's do it. We could get a couple bucks together and get him to do it. And Paul Raven from Killing Joke mixes the rest of it. Something like this is usually given to industry people and radio stations and record stores. We wanted to do something that enabled like the fans, the first 100 people, the true Prong fans, to get something like this.
So, hier habe ich einen weiteren Leserbrief und zwar schreibt hier die Metal Maria Görg aus Baunatal.